Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you are definitely having a great Mother's Day. This is a very special day for a lot of women. And for me, for years, it has not been a pretty day because I lost my mom 30 years ago. And it always had that, oh, I want my mom. Where is she? I should be. And sometimes I could not even enjoy it as a mom. But then healing over the years has taken place, and I am actually so pleased to share with my life, my kids' life, and my life, and her life, and what that means to me. So thank you so much for joining me. And I've got a special guest. I've got Nicole. Oh my goodness, Nicole is such an amazing woman. I have had the beauty of watching her grow, her journey in life. And I thought today it would be a great thing for me to just chat here about this important topic on how we could be better mothers. So Nicole, welcome.
Thank you, Busi. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here. And I just want to start off by saying, I think as a mom, I'm sure you can relate. We are born with this innate guilt of motherhood. Are we doing enough? Are we good enough? And even on a day like today, I find myself thinking, should we be celebrating this day when there's so many people who have lost their mothers, people who have lost children who are no longer, they don't have living children to celebrate, people that can never have kids. And I think that that's maybe the wrong way to look at it. I hope Mother's Day can become more a day of celebrating motherhood, and not just biological moms. And I know that's what we're here to talk about today, and we will focus on that, but I just wanted to take a minute to celebrate moms of fur babies, moms of children that have passed away, women that nurture people in their community but don't have kids of their own. Just to celebrate. And anybody that has a maternal, nurturing, loving role in somebody else's life, even as a business mentor, I think today's a day to celebrate all of them.
Wow. Thank you for including all the ladies that also did not have the joy of holding their little ones in their arms. Even miscarriage counts, I think, because you had a time where you knew that you needed to prefer to be a mother, all of a sudden that is gone. So it is important for us to look at it as a good thing that we have this day, because sometimes we've been told that, oh well, you know what, it's just there, but we actually take this serious, and we actually look back into our lives and take a lesson. So for you, Nicole, how would you say your relationship with your mother has shaped your life?
That is, my mother's been fundamental in my life. We've had our ups and downs, Busi. It hasn't always been easy because I think we've been on different paths. And I think the biggest thing I've learned along the way is to be more patient with myself as a mom, and just to kind of spread this message of less guilt over motherhood, because it doesn't matter how hard you try, you're never going to get it right. And my mom taught me that everybody has their own path, and you shouldn't try and judge, especially in family, just because you're blood. It doesn't mean that you have to make the same decisions. It doesn't mean that you have to have the same goals and dreams. You don't even have to have the same beliefs. You can still be family and still love one another. And that is the definition of unconditional maternal love, is that you're on different paths, but that's okay. And I hope to teach my kids the same.
Yeah. And talking about teaching your kids, I was just saying today, as a lady that I was talking to earlier, Penny, that, I just found out yesterday that my 8-year-old does not know what is heaven or what is hell. And so I was really shocked. So what happened is that my kids are homeschooled. So I decide what they learn and what they hear for, who they hear.
I'm a big supporter of, by the way. I'm a big supporter of homeschool, despite how difficult it is. Yeah.
Wow. But I've been doing it for the past 5 years, and it actually gets better than worse. It does. Thank you. So then, Sunday school is also done at home, because during Sunday school, what they learn is how to be good to others, how to take care of others, how to be to allow their emotions, how to not judge themselves, how to not judge others, all these things. But they also just don't get a certain part of education that I got when I was 8. So then yesterday she's asking me, so what is hell? What is heaven? I'm like, I was not ready for this. I didn't know that this question was going to come up, and it was just a total shock to my system. So what things have you taught your kids that your parents did not teach you? And what things would you just be like, I'm not teaching my kids that? They rather just want to talk about it somehow, but I'm not doing that.
I don't know if you want to know my answer. I'm glad you asked that, because that is, I'm very passionate about that, Busi. I think that if there's one thing I will teach my kids with regards to spirituality and religion, it's that you respect other people's beliefs. So I want them to know beliefs. I want them to embrace them. I want them to choose what they believe as they grow. That for me is very important, because that is their fundamental right. But I did grow up in a very religious household, which I don't regret, because like you say, it gave me a lot of fundamental values that I still hold on to today. But I also grew up with a spiritual arrogance that I could save the world and that I knew better than anybody else did. And that for me terrifies me. I do not want to grow little, very indignantly bigoted religious zealots. I won't do that. I will raise humans that are objective, that are empathetic, that are supportive, and that encourage a collective unity in all our different beliefs. And so that for me, yes, there's lots of different spiritual things that I teach them, but that is number one, is always be open to listen to other people's journeys and without judgment.
Wow, I love that, because probably that is what I've been thinking, that I don't want to give them one-sided story, because that's definitely what I got, one-sided story, and I was told like there is nothing else. And
Yes.
Obviously it's good to have something you holding on to, but it's also great to know that there's other things that maybe are as good as what I got. So I really was wanting them to find these things by themselves and be interested in whatever they want to be interested in. So that is such a very important lesson for us moms, to not judge ourselves about should I be the one who do this. Maybe they will grow up and choose whatever that suits them, and it's okay. So talking about the fact that especially the girl child, she's gonna be the mom, she's gonna be the one who has to nurture another human being, and we are taught that we are the result of our mothers, and our mothers are the result of our grandmothers, and obviously it's going to be like that till the end. So how do we then teach or guide our girls? And looking at the current culture, the current how business is done, how careers go, how do we teach them what is success? Because
Sure.
a lot of women are in that. Am I successful enough? Am I not?
There's so much pressure, Busi, and I think for our young girls growing up with this extra added opportunity, I think there's even more pressure. Because I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, there was a limitation, and it wasn't spoken, it was unspoken, it was implied. And these are the sorts of careers you should pursue because family is a priority. And I think girls are realizing now that the options are almost endless. And as exciting as that is, it's also a little bit paralyzing, because now there's all this pressure on you to be this visionary thought leader, world shaker. And I think that we should just encourage our young girls to just breathe. And shatter all stereotypes. And that includes the ones we're building right now. We're building the stereotype of the fierce, powerful, all-conquering woman. And although you can be that in a quiet warehouse manager role. You can be that in a gentle nursing role. And I think that there's callings and there's passions, and to try and get the young girls to listen to their self. more than they listen to the voices on social media, more than they listen to the news or the influences in their household. They can all be good, but to sit down and be quiet. I really want to encourage more children to spend time and learn how to meditate healthily, how to get in touch with their inner self, to find out what makes them tick, and then to listen to their heart before they listen to anybody else around them.
Wow, that is big, because there's a lot. I mean, we have social media. We are literally 1 second away from America. And everybody is doing whatever. And it can be a lot to say, what is it? What should I be doing? Which road should I take? And like you say, meditation helps you know exactly what's up with you. And you can then project that to the world, but then you are not disturbed by all these outside noises. Totally, totally important. So now, I think Mother's Day is a time that sort of soften a lot of edges around. We can be able to talk about issues that we would normally not talk about in a normal day, and we can actually get the time to just dig a little bit further. What would you say, how can you advise a woman that doesn't have a good relationship with their mom? How do you start the conversation of saying, you know what, mommy, I love you and I appreciate you, but you know that part you didn't do right, or I got hurt for 20 years, or that messed up my life dearly. How do we start that conversation?
Wow. Well, I think that that's a big one for me. Anybody who's gone through enough hurt with people that are really close to you would understand that once you've healed, it's very freeing. And I think that you need to, somebody once told me that love and hate are opposite sides of the same coin. And that hating somebody and loving somebody is so intertwined that it's almost the same thing. The moment you feel indifference is the moment that you're free. So firstly, if you do have a bad relationship and have been wronged and hurt by your mom, I think don't feel guilty for not wanting to invest time or spend time there, for setting healthy boundaries. I don't believe there's anything wrong with that. But then extending kindness for what somebody has done for you, it says more about who you are than about who they are. You don't have to tell them that you love them or you're grateful for them, even though you might hate them and never speak to them, but you do it because of who you are as a person and your integrity, not because of you actually genuinely want to impress anybody or nurture a bond that maybe is unhealthy. So it's more about knowing who you are and what you stand for, expressing gratitude, but then also maintaining healthy boundaries.
And I think when you're honest, like you say, when you're honest about how you feel, it might be easier to let that out, because like you say, when you finally get it sorted, you are free. You can actually enjoy this relationship. But we know that our parents, how they grew up and what they went through, they sort of did a lot of hurt to us that we really can see, oh my goodness, I am like this because my father said. I mean, I can tell you, when I was 4, my father, I was this talkative child that is just like, when visitors come in, I want to entertain them. I want to ask them.
I can see that. I feel like I'm in your home.
So I remember one day my father saying, you better stop it. Shut up. We are tired. Just don't do this. And I mean, he was just probably angry because, I mean, he didn't know what to do anymore in that moment. But for me, it stopped me from ever being outspoken and doing all of this. And it took me probably about 15 years to get over that. And when I did, I actually take my public speaking and all that talent very, very sacred, because I lost it. And when I got it back, I was like, oh my goodness, I am going to use this very, it's very special. So obviously our parents did that, and he didn't know that was going to hurt me for a long time, but it also gave me a better life just by it happening. So right now we are also going to have 30-year-old babies because they're always going to be our babies, 40-year-olds. And and they will probably say, hey, my life is messed up because my mom that. They will be talking about us. So what are the things that you think we can try avoid in putting a dent on our kids' life? And what do you think are the things that are okay for us to let them go through without us trying to cushion them? Because I mean, we try all the time to cushion them, and sometimes we don't want to see them hurt. And then the more we try to not see them hurt, we actually hurt them by saying, "Don't have that boyfriend, don't have that." And So what do you think we should be looking? What maybe is there an area where we like that area? I can probably hurt them; they will get over it. But that area, I am not gonna touch.
It's such a tough one. I do think we need to be a little bit fatalistic in this and a little bit pessimistic, realistic, and say, at the end of the day, all children will grow up with some issues. It doesn't matter how hard you try. They will have things that they have to deal with in therapy, in soul searching. They will have to get over themselves. They will have to go on their own journey one day. And as you get older and mature, as I've kind of let go a lot of that hurt as well, because I think they were doing the best they knew at the time. And I know for you, I'm certainly doing the best that I can. But in saying that, I think number one is a child just needs love. I've told my children in my house that we all make mistakes. I mean, I come from our home has been a broken home. It is now a healed home. I'm getting remarried in October, but my children have been through a divorce with me. So it's been a very traumatic phase for all of us. And I think what's held us together is this very authentic connection where we can say, mommies and daddies make mistakes too. And this is what I've learned today. You know, that was a mistake that you made, but I also made a mistake yesterday. And I take it as far as when my son's doing homework, we have a piece of paper next to him or a whiteboard that he can practice on before he actually does his work. And it's called a stuff-up sheet. And we write those mistakes down and then we laugh. And I'm like, how could you put 2 T's? That's crazy. And then we're laughing on the floor about a mistake. And people get so paralyzed, and there's rules and perfection in households. And I know, listen, I'm big on discipline and my kids have structure and boundaries. But number one, love, always. We stuffed up today. It's okay. We're going to try again tomorrow. But I love you no matter what. There's always a lap to crawl into. There's always a hug. There's always a safe place.
Wow, that's big. Mummies and daddies makes mistakes too. And we love you.
Not perfect. When did anybody tell us we have to be perfect? Because we've never done this before.
Yeah, because that's what we were told. We were told mummies don't get it right, don't do wrongs. And yeah, adults are just perfect people. So hence, you know, so for them, we're letting them know. Yeah. So I love that. I really, really love that mummies and daddies make mistakes. So make your own. And if I've made mine raising you, hey, you know what? Get over it. So lastly, Nicole, a lot of mummies always feels like they must put their kids first. And this is, I'm gonna put my kids first. My career comes second. My goals and dreams come second. My happiness comes second. I must stay in a marriage I hate and all this because my kids. How do we deal with that?
That is the best question of the day. You saved the best for last. I am a big advocate for self-love. I do believe if you subscribe to being a parent, whether it's by choice or not, you're suddenly part of a whole new level of responsibility. Yes, you have to make sure that children are provided for. You make sure that their rights are covered. You make sure that they have safety and love and peace. But beyond that, you need to look after yourself. And in doing so, you're actually teaching your children how to love themselves. And I must be honest, I was hiding as a mom. I was hiding until I had my second child, and she was diagnosed with a rare life-limiting disease, cystic fibrosis. And I was sitting in ICU holding my baby girl thinking, I have to be everything for her. I have to be her occupational therapist, her doctor, her nutritionist, her counselor, her physiotherapist. I have to fill all of these roles. And I had this one moment of clarity where I realized I don't have to be all of those things. I can find people to help me, to a tribe to connect with me. There's only one thing my baby girl needs from me. My kids need an example. And I think and I know that I'm very outspoken on this. I'm very opinionated. But I do believe it's a bit of a cop-out to sit back and say that I have to be there for every nappy change because I have to make sure I subscribe to every mommy blog and I have to make sure that I make homemade Play-Doh with him every weekend. No, if you can, that's wonderful. If you want to, that's fantastic. But if you have goals and dreams in your own heart and you can go out and tenaciously pursue them, that is setting an example for your kids and giving them permission to do the same, so that one day they can go out with confidence and say, well, I mean, I saw my mom, she was a mess half the time, but look what she did. And I hope my kids say that one day. I hope they say that mommy was all over the show. She loved us, but I can't believe she climbed a mountain. She did this in business, you know. And that, hopefully, they surpass everything that I've achieved and way more, because they have that confidence to say, I can. And I'm inspired by my kids because I can.
True. Wow, Nicole, that is powerful. Putting yourself first makes better kids. That's just sounds like
you're happier. You're happy. I mean, this is Mother's Day, right? And people think that on Mother's Day we should be, but Nicole, why are you doing a live? You put makeup on and you have your lights on, and where are your children? You're a terrible mother. No, this makes me happy because I care about other moms and because I love doing this. It's my passion. And when I'm finished, I'll go out and play Lego on the floor with my kids because they don't need me the whole day. They need quality time, not quantity time.
Oh, thank you so much, Nicole. Please just tell us a little bit about what you do. Where can we find you? How can we just get a little bit more of Nicole in our lives?
Thank you. Please go to my Instagram account @_Nicole Kappa and have a look at everything I'm doing. All the links are in my bio. I consider myself a serial entrepreneur and I'm working on multiple projects. One of them is a luxury lifestyle magazine at Luxuria Lifestyle South Africa, at Luxuria Lifestyle ZA, luxurialifestylesouthafrica.com. And then also my climbing page. If you're somebody who loves adventuring, going out in the wilderness, going on transformational journeys, at Uprising ZA, you'll find us there on Instagram, and we go on treks not only in South Africa but globally. We also have a women's forum that we host called @The Impact Hub on Instagram, and we have live events now because we can't have physical ones, and where we collect men and women in a space to talk about women-related issues.
Wow. Thank you so much, Nicole. Have an amazing Mother's Day. Thank you.
And thank you for what you're doing. It's really valuable, and I love watching you, and I've loved watching your journey. So please keep doing what you're doing and making an impact in your community.
Thank you. Have an amazing day. Bye.